Hello and welcome to the show. Tonight I'm joined by the head of one of the lesser-known societies, a society that hasn't had too much attention recently. Well, not too much good attention anyway. Bub Beazel has joined me from the Devil Worshippers Society. He's the head and he's going to tell us a little bit about it. Bub Beazel, what exactly is it that Devil Worshippers Society does?
Thanks, host. DWSOC is a religious society. We believe on the worship of true evil, and we worship the embodiment of this true evil, which is Satan.
I see. So this Satin fellow...
No, sorry, it's Satan.
Oh, sorry, Satan. Who exactly is he? What does he do? Is he a typical creator-type deity, like in most other religions?
No. He's definitely not a creator-type deity. He's an anti-creator, if you will, a destructor, basically. He is, in fact, the nemesis of God from the Christian mythos. He tried to usurp God's power, and God threw him out of paradise and down into the pit.
Oh, that's Satan.
Yes, you do know him. Well, as I was saying, he was thrown out of paradise, and now he spends his time gaining influence among mankind, with the intention being to rise to power again, storm the gates of heaven, overthrow God once and for all, and steal his throne in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, so he's trying to make a comeback. Like, take that.
Sort of, but no. And when this day of victory comes, he will reward his loyal followers by granting us some of his power.
I see. What about other people, people who don't worship him? Say, people like me who have never heard of the chap.
Oh, well, unfortunately, you would become playthings for the demons that now roam the earth, and you would become servants and slaves of people like me who have gained some of Satan's power. You would essentially live eternal life in pain and misery.
Well, that doesn't sound like too pleasant a paradise.
Well, for the masses, it isn't really. Try to think of it as the opposite of the Christian belief. Instead of self-sacrifice and treating others as you would wish to be treated yourself, it's all about gain for the self, selfish reasons, putting yourself above others.
I see, so not really too friendly, is it?
No, we're definitely not ranked as one of the most friendly religious societies around there.
Right, and speaking of your ranking, as it were, you're not really ranked too highly in the public view, are you?
No, there are demonstrations held against us, and people sign all sorts of petitions to try and get us to stop worshipping and close down our unholy places and to not allow us to speak in public or rear goats in our own homes. I'll tell you, host, there's an awful lot of devil haters out there.
I believe you come under fire from more, shall we say, physical attacks from certain members of other religious organisations. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yes, well, people hurl abuse at us in the streets. They call us horrid names such as goat lover, bigot, racist. The racist remark is particularly unfair because I don't just hate one nationality or race, I hate absolutely everybody.
I hear it's not just name-calling. Some of your members have actually been physically attacked and your unholy places desecrated.
Yes, some of our unholy places have been very desecrated, beyond which what we would ever do to them or what we would ever dream of doing to them. People have broken in and sprayed inverted crucifixes all over the place. They've thrown unholy water across the walls and wiped off the Virgin's blood that we've smeared there.
Well, that seems very disrespectful. How does it make you feel when people do this?
Well, I'm constantly angry anyway, so there's no real noticeable difference there. It's more the annoyance. I have to sacrifice another goat to re-unconsecrate the unholy ground. I then have to find another virgin and then enroll her into the society so that we can start smearing their blood all over the place.
That must be really hard to do.
It is incredibly hard. Well, finding the virgins are okay. We just always go for ugly people. There's plenty of them everywhere. But getting a goat is very hard. There are no goat farms for 30 miles around here. It's all just sheep and cows. And because of my religious beliefs, I can't just buy the goat. I have to steal it. Have you ever tried stealing a goat at 2 a.m?
I can't say that I ever have. I'll add that onto my list of things to try before I die. Can't say it sounds particularly easy.
It's not. I've got a lot of scars to show for it. I've made a lot of sacrifices for my beliefs, and that really isn't what this religion is all about.
I see. You're certainly painting a rather bleak picture. Persecution, scars, hard work. But let's talk a bit about the upside. You must enjoy it all.
Oh, certainly, yes. I mean, I'd love the black masses and the satanic orgies. They're great fun, and we're all taught how to perform magic.
Oh, you do magic, like card tricks and things?
Not quite. Like calling down lightning and summoning demons to do my bidding, that sort of magic.
I see. Do you learn card tricks as well, or is it pretty much just the summoning?
No, it's pretty much just the summoning. We did have someone in the sect who performed stage magic, but they unfortunately died during a satanic orgy when they drank cat's blood.
I see. Does this sort of thing happen a lot?
Well, back in the day, and I mean, we're going back to the 80s now, you would get a few deaths here and there from the drinking of cat's blood, but these days there's a lot tighter regulations. All cats that are in our sect are required to be tested in a clinic before we allow them entry, and they're then tested weekly thereafter.
Right. So the orgies are a little more under control now.
Well, as under control as an orgy can be. I mean, sometimes I didn't even know what I'm fucking. Oh, I'm sorry, can I say that? I'm so sorry.
That's fine, that's okay. So you mentioned black masses. Tell us a little bit about what goes on in those.
Oh, masses are great fun. I mean, they're brilliant. We have the unholy man at the altar, reminds us all of our core beliefs. We drink blood and then we eat a body, and then we're all reminded of how we're going to be going to hell.
So, very similar to a Catholic ceremony then.
Ironically, yes, many people have pointed out the similarities in our faiths. We both drink blood for eternal life, we believe in magic, unprotected sex, and all our religious leaders are required to touch small children and be relocated.
Right, so we've spoken about some of the similarities. Now let's talk about the differences between devil worship and Catholicism.
Well, one of the main differences is we're allowed to dance in our black masses, and we have the dance.
The dance?
Yes, the dance. Would you like me to show you?
Well, I don't know. Would we like to see the dance, ladies and gentlemen?
Now, you have to remember, of course, there's usually heavy metal being played backwards, so you'll just have to imagine that for yourselves. And that's the dance.
Very nice, very nice. So, just to wrap this up, where can people find you if they want to join or just come and have a chat?
Well, our building is situated behind the chaplaincy centre with the dark menacing building there with the inverted crucifix above the door. You can't miss us. There's always usually someone from the order hanging around there. And we have a few induction nights at the beginning of term. You can come and take part in a black mass or a satanic orgy, and there's no obligation to sell your soul on these events. They are literally just a taster session. Virgins are always more than welcome. We have a ton of uses for virgin's blood. We're not going to sacrifice you, don't worry. We just use a couple of pints. Many things we can use that for, especially in the magic circles. And we also do spliff and a milkshake on Wednesday and Friday nights following score and flirt. So you can come along and have a spliff and a milkshake. And we're always around then, so you can chat to us then.
Well, sadly that's all we have time for this week. But thanks for coming along and telling us all a little bit about what Devil Worshipper's Sock does.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome, any time. Bub Beazel, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
And make sure you watch next week when we'll be joined by the head of the Juggling 13 Chickens with one hand while skateboarding on the other, jumping through a hoop of fire society, or Juggatuwasawatahagataf Sock, as they're better known. Thank you. Good night.